Number 1. The Land of a Million Elephants in Southeast Asia. Laos, officially the Lao People's Democratic Republic, is located in the center of the Indochinese Peninsula and is one of the few Southeast Asian countries without a coastline. With an area of over 236,000 km², nearly equivalent to the U.S. state of Oregon, Laos is among the 82 countries with the largest land area. Thanks to its location between ancient trade routes from the 14th to the 18th centuries, this land was an important stopover for merchants from China, Siam, and Burma. However, the lack of a seaport significantly limits Laos's current export activities. Besides, with 80% of its territory being mountainous, Laos's economy is still quite small, with a GDP of about 16 billion USD and a per capita GDP of just over 2,600 USD per year. Although landlocked, Laos boasts over 4,000 islands along the Mekong River, known as Si Phan Don, located in Champasak Province and covering an area of approximately 1,700 km². The three most famous islands are Don Kong, Don Det, and Don Kon, which attract hundreds of thousands of visitors each year. This is an ideal place to cycle through riverside villages, swim in clear waterfalls, or go boating to see the rare Irrawaddy dolphins, of which there are now fewer than 100 individuals in Laos and Cambodia. Conserving this species is becoming an urgent priority. Visitors to Si Phan Don should also be aware that the rainy season is from May to October. When the Mekong River rises, many areas can be flooded up to half their surface area, affecting travel and tourism activities. Historically, Laos was founded by King Fa Ngum in the 14th century under the name Lan Sang, which means Land of a Million Elephants. However, there are currently fewer than 1,000 elephants left in the entire country due to hunting and deforestation. International conservation organizations like Elephant Asia and the World Elephant Center are working with the government to establish protected areas to restore the elephant population. The official language of Laos is Lao, with up to 80% of its vocabulary similar to Thai, making it easy for people from both countries to communicate. In the capital city of Vientiane, English and French are also widely used in hotels, restaurants, and tourist areas, making it convenient for first-time visitors to the country. If you've ever set foot in the Land of a Million Elephants, please share your experience in the comments section below. Number 2. The unwritten rules that make Laos different. When visiting Laos, the first thing tourists need to remember is to absolutely not touch the monks, especially if you are a woman. In Lao Buddhist culture, monks are considered symbols of spiritual purity, so any contact, even accidental, can easily be misinterpreted as harming that purity. When you want to give something to a monk, you should ask a man for assistance. Many temples also hang signs that say, "No touching monk," right at the entrance to remind visitors. Laotians are also very discreet when it comes to showing affection in public. Actions like hugging, kissing, or holding hands in public are often considered inappropriate. Tourist police will sometimes remind foreign couples if their behavior is too intimate. Lao law also stipulates that foreigners who have a close relationship with local residents but are not married can be fined up to $5,000, with the risk of deportation and a 1-year entry ban, one of the harshest penalties in the region. For women, behavioral norms are also considered important. Behaviors such as teasing, touching, or initiating overly familiar conversations can be considered offensive. When invited to a local's home, you should pay attention to the rules of private space. Laotians avoid sleeping with their heads facing the door because they believe it brings bad luck. When moving around the house, avoid making loud noises so as not to disrupt the family harmony. During meals, tapping chopsticks or spoons against bowls or pots is considered impolite because, according to folk beliefs, that sound can attract wandering spirits. Therefore, Lao people always maintain a quiet and dignified dining space. Additionally, many ancient beliefs still exist in daily life. People avoid cutting their hair or shaving on Wednesdays to avoid bad luck, and consider Thursdays an unfavorable day for washing their hair. In rural areas, the sound of a car horn is believed to be able to awaken protective spirits. A survey in Vientiane showed that about 85% of the population considers honking unnecessary. These beliefs contribute to the unique spiritual identity of the Lao people. Number 3. Laos, where women face subtle limitations. When strolling through the villages along the Mekong River, the most visible image is of women wearing the traditional sin dress. Their beauty emanates from the gentleness, kind eyes, and warm smiles characteristic of this peaceful land. Lao women are considered symbols of simplicity. They prefer natural beauty treatments using saffron, coconut oil, or rice milk. Many people still make their own hair oil or creams from ingredients in their garden, secrets passed down through generations. Like many Asian countries, Lao girls are taught to be humble, gentle, and maintain their image, creating a subtle yet profound charm. In love, Lao people express their emotions discreetly. A long look, a bundle of sticky rice, or a white thread tied around the wrist is enough to convey affection. In many regions, the thread-tying ceremony only appears during the Bachi festival, symbolizing blessings and spiritual connection. Despite being considered faithful spouses, the marital status of Lao women is changing. Approximately 35% of women aged 18 to 30 are still unmarried due to more modern lifestyles and stricter legal regulations. Foreigners wishing to marry Lao women must reside here for at least 3 months, submit a complete background check, and wait for approval for several months to nearly a year. The application may be rejected if there is suspicion of exploitation or illegal immigration. With a population of approximately 8 million people and a balanced gender structure, the Lao government prioritizes protecting women from the risks of migration. Since 2010, many human trafficking cases disguised as international marriage have been discovered. Numerous women have been lured to China or Malaysia and forced to work in prostitution or forced labor. According to Radio Free Asia statistics, authorities rescue approximately 150 victims each year and arrest nearly 400 foreigners involved in these networks. Propaganda campaigns in the border province are warning young women about the risk of being lured. At the same time, many social organizations support vocational training, job creation, and help Lao women stabilize their lives and become more confident instead of having to seek opportunities in other countries. Number 4. Laos and the tradition of going to the monastery, surprising the world. Before getting married, traditional Lao men had to spend some time in a temple for religious training. This ancient custom is based on the belief that a man who wishes to marry must live in a monastic environment for at least 3 months to cultivate his morals and temperament. The period of practice is not only a religious ritual, but also an opportunity for them to grow. In the temple, they shave their heads, chant scriptures, meditate, and learn doctrines about karma, patience, loyalty, and proper conduct within the family. These values are considered the foundation for becoming a reliable husband and a responsible father. If the period of spiritual practice is not completed, the bride's family may consider the man immature or lacking the moral qualities to marry. In traditional Lao thought, desire is the root of suffering, so cultivation is believed to help keep the mind pure, protect family happiness, and bring blessings to descendants. However, this custom is gradually fading in modern life. Many young people believe their future depends on education and career rather than living in a temple, and social researchers note that this makes young people more prone to emotional instability and a lack of respect in marital relationships. At the same time, domestic violence in Laos is increasingly concerning. According to statistics from the United Nations Population Fund and the World Bank, nearly half of Lao women have experienced physical or mental violence, and over 40% have been abused by their husbands or partners. In many rural areas, violence is still considered a family matter, causing many women to remain silent out of fear of gossip or because they believe that enduring it maintains harmony. More than half of the victims do not seek help. In response to this situation, the Lao government has implemented various measures. Since 2021, a hotline for women and children has been established to provide legal support, psychological counseling, and emergency shelter. The Ministry of Health also opened victim care centers nationwide. Some of the major temples in Vientiane also offer free meditation classes to help women heal emotionally. Awareness campaigns about women's rights are being intensified with the message that if just one person dares to speak out, hundreds of others will be freed. Number 5. Sticky rice, the culinary soul of Laos. Laos is currently the country with the highest per capita consumption of sticky rice in the world, averaging about 171 kilograms per year. This reflects a long-standing culinary tradition, where sticky rice appears in most daily meals and is even more important than plain rice. The popularity of sticky rice is also linked to the culture of drinking wine and beer, which is very characteristic of Laos. Trong Jo, Ruao gao lao lao la loai jo wang truyen tong lao joy. Ton tai hang tram nam truak kibia juak dunhap. Ruao juak lam tu gao nep. Len men voi men rong wachung kat tu kong trong chumjat. Lao lao ko vingoten he. Kai diu. De wong hong nong jo kon chao. Thuong tu quarantagen fek sit jo. Moing guoi lao tren penai stoi tieu tu trong bin huang desilit ruao nguyen. Chat hang nam. Trong jo hon trenit parsengen tu ruao tu kong. Nam gioi uong trong bin 33 lit. Funu kwang dwalt lit, jua lao vaon homkach kwok, jia wong ruo hion hat ku vuk. The impact of alcohol is very serious. More than half of traffic accidents are alcohol-related, with a death rate of approximately 16 people per 100,000 population. Nearly 1/8 of the adult population shows signs of liver damage due to regular alcohol consumption. Lao beer has become a modern symbol of the country, renowned for its balanced flavor. This beer uses hops and yeast imported from Germany, combined with local jasmine rice to create its distinctive aroma. It is currently exported to over 20 countries, including the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, and Australia. According to 2024 data from the World Health Organization, the average per capita consumption of pure alcohol in Laos is 10.4 liters per year, nearly double the global average. Approximately 14% of children under 15 have used alcoholic beverages. The cost of mitigating the consequences of alcohol consumption accounts for approximately 2% of GDP annually, while beer Lao contributes only 1.2 to 2% of GDP. To reduce alcohol abuse, the government has increased excise taxes to 110% and launched numerous media campaigns, particularly targeting young people. Number 6. What makes Lao people so resilient in the face of hardship? Laos is known as one of the most resilient nations in Southeast Asia. Since the Middle Ages, the Lao people have faced successive attacks from Thailand and Myanmar for over 4 centuries, and that resilient spirit did not diminish even when the country fell under French colonial rule. The most frequently mentioned story is the battle on the Bolavan Plateau, where about 500 villagers, armed only with spears and a few old rifles, held out for 30 days against 2,000 modernly equipped French troops. France was forced to send in an additional 6,000 reinforcements to capture this area. For the people of Bolavan, this land is not only famous for its coffee, but is also connected to the souls of those who have fallen. When the US intervened in Vietnam, Laos became a silent but fierce battlefield. More than 1,000 young people from Laos, many of whom were only 14 or 15 years old, volunteered for battle. In the rear, elderly women, even those in their 70s, still pounded rice day and night, sewed clothes, and prepared food for the front lines. From 1964 to 1973, Laos became the most heavily bombed country in the world, with over 2 million tons of bombs dropped, nearly double the amount of American bombs dropped on Germany and Japan during World War II. On average, a plane flies over every 8 minutes to drop bombs, causing severe devastation to areas like Xieng Kuang and Thakek, and many areas are still uncultivable today. The consequences are immense. Approximately 80 million unexploded cluster bombs are still scattered throughout the mountains, fields, and even residential areas. From 1975 to the present, over 20,000 people have been killed or injured by landmines, nearly 60% of whom are children. In 2016, U.S. President Barack Obama became the first U.S. president to visit Laos and pledged $90 million in support to address remaining bombs. However, it is estimated that it will cost about $1.6 billion to clean up the entire area. With its current capacity, Laos can only destroy about 100,000 bombs each year, meaning it will take the country over 8 centuries to be completely safe. Number 7. Mysteries of history, obscured by time. Wat Pho in Champasak province is one of the most ancient and sacred religious sites in Laos. The temple is located on the slopes of Mount Pho Khao, about 6 kilometers from the Mekong River, and was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2001. The current structure was built in the 11th century on the foundation of the 6th century Hindu temple of the Chenla Kingdom. According to a 2022 archaeological report, a French research team discovered over 40 secondary structures and a central platform that may conceal a 12-meter deep ceremonial chamber. In 2023, UNESCO's 3D scanning project revealed over 200 meters of previously undocumented sandstone walls. As night falls, mist covers the rainforest, and the locals believe it is the spirit of the stone goddess. Some visitors say they heard bells ringing in the wind even though the area was completely deserted, making it difficult to distinguish between reality and historical echoes. Leaving Champasak, the journey leads to Tam Kong Lo Cave in Khammouane Province, about 320 kilometers from Vientiane. The cave is 7.5 kilometers long, with an average ceiling height of 100 meters, and the Nam Hinbound underground river flows through the limestone mountain range. The boat trip lasted nearly 2 hours in absolute darkness. According to a 2021 geological study by the National University of Laos, the cave system formed over 200 million years ago. The naturally glowing stalactites create an ethereal space, which National Geographic once called Asia's hidden wonder. The cave ecosystem contains at least 18 species of blind fish, 10 species of bats, and over 40 endemic insect species that have not yet been scientifically named. Above the cave is the Pho Hin Pound limestone forest, which covers an area of over 1,800 square kilometers and has an extremely sparse population of less than 1 person per square kilometer. The Khammu people call this place Pa Phai, the Forest of Spirits. According to a 2024 survey by the Lao Biodiversity Center, the area still has about 400 caves, but only 38% have been fully surveyed. Thick fog surrounds the forest year-round, and many caves deeper than 150 meters have never been touched by human feet. War-era bomb and shell remnants are still scattered around. The Khammu people believe that each cave is where their ancestors reside, and anyone passing through must remain silent so as not to disturb the spirits. Would you dare to step into that darkness, where nature still whispers the stories of time? Number 8. The Kingdom of Waterfalls. Laos is called the Kingdom of Waterfalls, where over 4,000 islands and hundreds of waterfalls flow into the Mekong River. Among them, Kone Pafeng in Champasak is the most outstanding wonder. The waterfall is 21 meters high, 10 kilometers long, and 5 kilometers wide, with an average flow rate of 11,000 cubic meters per second, 3 times that of Niagara during the dry season. During the rainy season, the water volume increases to 49,000 cubic meters, strong enough to sweep away even iron ships weighing tens of tons. The immense water power made it impossible for boats to navigate this section of the river. In the 19th century, French colonists once tried to overcome the bottleneck by building a temporary railroad to transport trains over the waterfall. The 7-kilometer railroad line on Don Day Island, Laos's first railroad, still exists today. Since 2012, the government has invested heavily in tourism in Champasak, expanding boat docks and tour routes, which has helped the region welcome over 250,000 visitors annually. The waters around the waterfall are home to the Mekong giant catfish, the world's largest freshwater fish, which can grow up to 3 meters long and weigh 300 kilograms. WWF says there are currently fewer than 100 individuals left in the wild. Leaving the lowlands of Champasak, your journey takes you up to the Bolivan Plateau, which is over 1,000 meters above sea level and receives 3,000 to 4,000 millimeters of rainfall annually, double the national average. The rich basalt red soil makes this area a famous Arabica coffee growing region in Southeast Asia. Amidst the lush green forest, the Tad Phane twin waterfalls cascade down from the Champi and Pakut rivers, creating 2 parallel columns of water that are 120 meters high and plunge into a 200-meter deep gorge, forming a thick mist that blankets the entire area. The forest around Tad Phane is located within the Dong Hua Sao National Protected Area, which spans over 1,100 square kilometers and is home to more than 320 bird species, 30 bat species, and numerous rare orchids. Visitors must hike 2 kilometers through the forest or try the 500-meter-long zip line at an altitude of 300 meters to experience what Lonely Planet ranked as one of the most beautiful in Asia in 2023. The Lavan people around the plateau still maintain the customs of brewing rice wine and the rain-praying ceremony by the waterfall. For them, Tad Phane is where the souls of their ancestors reside, symbolizing the eternal bond between earth and sky. Number 9. Discover the exciting nightlife in Laos. In Vientiane, the light from the riverside cafes reflects off the water, where locals and tourists sit drinking lao lao or lao coffee and chatting in the cool weather. That slow pace of life creates a very different atmosphere compared to many Southeast Asian capitals. In Luang Prabang, a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1995, nightfall always brings an air of enchantment. Over 200 lanterns are lit every evening along Sisavang Vong Street, combined with the sounds of the Cayenne flute, the Lam Vong dance, and traditional performances, making the scene feel like a step back in time. Whether in Vientiane or Luang Prabang, the nightlife is gentle and profound. The night market is open from 5 in the afternoon until nearly 11 o'clock, attracting hundreds of tourists to enjoy papaya salad, grilled sausages, sticky rice, and hand-roasted coffee. According to a 2024 survey by the Lao Tourism Authority, 72% of international visitors consider night food to be the most memorable experience. Laotians often eat dinner late to have time to chat. In Vientiane, small riverside bars like Viva Pub, Room 101, or Warm-Up Bar operate until around midnight, serving acoustic music and light cocktails, while security regulations only permit operation until 12 o'clock. Luang Prabang leans more toward artistic and spiritual elements. Traditional instruments and ancient dances are performed almost every evening, creating a quiet and community-focused atmosphere instead of a lively one. The red light district exists, but is small and located in economic zones near the border. The central area is almost devoid of sensitive activities because the residents prioritize maintaining a safe and clean lifestyle. Regarding security, Laos is considered one of the safest countries in the region. According to Numbeo data from 2024, Vientiane's Nighty Safety Index is 73 points, which is much higher than many major cities in the region. Nevertheless, tourists should still safeguard their belongings and avoid walking alone on secluded routes after 11 o'clock at night. Number 10. Destinations that make up the beauty of Laos. Nestled amidst the lush green forests of southern Laos, Wat Phu is the ancient Khmer temple of Champasak, built in the 11th century on the slopes of Mount Pho Kao, which stands approximately 1,400 meters high. This mountain was chosen because its natural shape resembles the Linga Parvata symbol, which represents the god Shiva in Hindu culture. Wat Pho was recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site in 2001 and is the only intact Khmer structure remaining in Laos. The entire temple complex is over 1.5 kilometers long, with 3 tiers connected by 120 ancient stone steps leading up to the main hall. As night fell, mist covered the temple area, and the people believed that the spirits were still present there. Following the Mekong River, the journey takes you to the 4,000 Islands, or Si Phan Dan, where the river splits into hundreds of branches spanning up to 14 kilometers, forming the largest river island complex in Southeast Asia. At the center of the region is Kone Pha Pheng Falls, which is 21 meters high, nearly 10 kilometers long, and has an average flow rate of 11,000 cubic meters of water per second. During the rainy season, this figure increases by nearly 49,000 cubic meters, which is even stronger than Niagara Falls. At the foot of the waterfall, there are also rare Irrawaddy dolphins, although only about 90 individuals remain. Not far from there is Li Phi Falls, where the Lao believe the souls of the dead pass through the turbulent whirlpools to leave the mortal world. In Khammouane Province, Tam Kong Lo Cave is one of the most impressive natural wonders in Laos. The Nam Hinbone underground river flows through limestone mountains for a distance of 7.5 kilometers. Inside, the cave ceiling reaches a height of 120 meters and is nearly 100 meters wide, with the light from flashlights reflecting off the water's surface to create an enchanting scene. Geologists believe this cave system formed over 200 million years ago and continues to be eroded and expanded by water every year. Number 11. Unsolved Mysterious Places. Located in northern Laos, about 370 kilometers from Vientiane, the Plain of Jars in Siangkuang Province appears as a land that challenges the imagination. On the gentle grassy hillsides, over 2,000 stones weighing from 1 to 10 tons are scattered, hand-carved more than 2 millennia ago. People believe this place was once a cemetery for cursed kings buried upright so their souls couldn't leave the ground. Some witnesses have reported seeing mysterious light streaks appearing in 1996 and 2011. Scientists believe it could be bioluminescence or reflection from phosphate ore, but there is no confirming evidence yet. Carbon analysis results from the Lao Institute of Archaeology in 2023 show that many stone slabs date back to around 500 BC. Some patterns bear similarities to ancient Indian funeral symbols and Zhongshan bronze drum motifs. More than 90 archaeological sites have been identified, where surveys show the existence of urns containing ashes, pottery shards, and iron tools underground, proving this was once a burial ground for a vanished civilization. Not far from there, the Pho Hin Pound Forest is considered by the Kamu people to be the gateway to the spirit world. They believe each ancient tree is connected to a fallen warrior. Many people say the forest sometimes glows faintly at night, even without a moon. Some biologists believe it's bioluminescent moss, but foreign survey teams have previously recorded GPS signal loss after descending more than 10 kilometers. In 2019, the Plain of Jars was recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. Visitors are only allowed to visit 3 out of 11 areas because the rest still contain unexploded landmines. For the Lao people, this land is the boundary between the human world and the spirit world, where light and darkness always coexist. Number 12. Famous dishes in Laos. Liap, or larb, is considered the national dish of Laos. The dish can be made from beef, chicken, duck, or fish, mixed with roasted rice powder, lime, fish sauce, chili, and herbs. Since the word liap means lucky, this dish always appears during bumpame and weddings as a blessing for wealth and health. Mokpa is a banana leaf steamed fish dish that represents the sophistication of Lao cuisine. The fish is marinated with lemongrass, onions, garlic, and herbs, then steamed in banana leaves to preserve its full flavor. This low-fat cooking method is considered very healthy by the WHO and is a familiar main dish in Lao families. In the northern mountainous region, Lao cuisine demonstrates boldness as people eat various insects such as scorpions, worms, crickets, or deep-fried spiders. According to FAO in 2024, over 60% of rural people eat insects at least once a month. Some places even eat it raw, believing it boosts energy. The Lao also utilize the entire animal when preparing dishes. Raw liver, tenderloin, or stomach are mixed with lime, chili, and herbs to create a distinctive spicy flavor, reflecting their respect for nature. Lao fish sauce paste is the soul of many dishes. Mam is fermented from freshwater fish, salt, and roasted rice in earthenware jars. According to the Lao Ministry of Agriculture, padak has about 30% more protein than Thai fish sauce and is rich in probiotics. This is also the main ingredient for the tam mak hung papaya salad. At the end of the meal, Lao people often choose refreshing desserts like herbal ice cream made from lime leaves, lemongrass, coconut, and condensed milk. In Luang Prabang, many shops also add butterfly pea flowers to create a light purple color, transforming the traditional dessert into a more modern experience. Number 13. Unique festivals tourists should know about. Laotians believe that each season is governed by a deity, and the year-round festivals are their way of expressing gratitude to nature and their ancestors. Among them, Bumpame is the biggest festival. From April 13th to 16th, the entire country will splash water together to wash away bad luck and welcome peace. Dry season temperatures can reach 38 degrees Celsius, making the lively water fights even more refreshing. In Luang Prabang, the Spring Queen procession attracts thousands of people, while in Vientiane, parades and Buddha bathing ceremonies take place throughout the major temples. May is the time for the Bunbang Phai Festival, a traditional rain-praying festival of the plains. Giant bamboo cannons were launched straight into the sky to send prayers to the rain god. In Savannakhet, the shells could reach 20 meters in height and travel 5 kilometers, creating a prominent white smoke plume against the sky. Accompanying this are puppet shows and duet singing performances with the meaning of fertility and abundance. In August, the Baun Khao Padabdan Festival is held to commemorate ancestors and the deceased. People brought offerings to the temple from early morning, while the monks went begging through the streets. The early morning air was filled with the scent of flowers and the sound of chanting. By October in the lunar calendar, the rainy season concludes with the Baun Ok Phansa Festival. The entire country lit up as tens of thousands of flower boats were released onto the Mekong River. In Vientiane alone, the light display stretches for over 10 kilometers and is considered a blessing for ancestors and the new season. In the northern mountains, residents organize the Baun Khao Salak Festival, also known as the Forest Spirit Offering Ceremony. The village head offered gifts including wine, sticky rice, and forest flowers, and then sang ancient songs with the villagers in the Kamu and Hmong languages to pray for a good harvest and health. The Xiaofeng Festival of Ethnic Minority Communities is an occasion to showcase the beauty of Highland culture with bamboo dancing, boat racing, folk games, and weaving demonstrations. According to data from the Lao Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism in 2024, the country hosts over 200 festivals of varying sizes each year, creating a diverse cultural landscape filled with gratitude toward the heavens and earth. Number 14. Cost of living in Laos. If you plan to stay in Laos long-term or settle there, understanding the cost of living is the most important preparation step. In Vientiane and Luang Prabang, the cost of living varies depending on location and spending habits. The rental price for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center ranges from $300 to $450 USD per month, while in the suburbs it's only about $150 to $250 USD. Areas on the outskirts of the city are often quieter, with more wooden houses and spacious yards, making them suitable for those who prefer a slower pace of life. Transportation in Laos is synonymous with tuk-tuks, with a short ride costing only 0.5 to 1 USD. Motorbikes can be rented for 5 to 10 USD per day, or purchased used for 400 to 600 USD. Taxis and ride-hailing apps are popular in Vientiane, with fares ranging from approximately 2 to 3 USD. If you rent a car, the average price is $30 to $40 per day, but the winding mountain roads require an experienced driver. The cost of food is one of the most attractive aspects. If you cook yourself, food at the market will only cost $00 to $40 per month. Eating out is very cheap. Street food costs 1 to 1.5 USD, while local restaurants are around 3 to 6 USD, with specialties like Khao Niao, larb, or Lao papaya salad. Utilities such as electricity, water, internet, and telephone cost an additional 30 to 50 USD per month. High-speed internet costs around 15 to 20 USD, suitable for remote work. Small expenses like trash or home management fees are insignificant but still need to be budgeted for. The total cost for a single person in Laos ranges from 450 to 650 USD per month. If you're frugal, your cost of living could be as low as $350. But if you enjoy traveling and experiences, it could reach $800. According to Numbeo data, the cost of living in Laos is about 25% lower than in Thailand and only half that of Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City, making it an attractive destination for foreigners seeking a simple life close to East Asian culture. Number 15. Travel tips for tourists. When you arrive in Laos, you'll quickly realize that the public transportation system is limited. In many mountainous or border areas, buses are infrequent and roads are not well connected, so book transportation from reputable companies to avoid a shortage of vehicles or price gouging. In provinces like Phong Sa Li or Luang Namtha, electricity and mobile signals are sometimes completely lost. Bringing a spare battery, a flashlight, and being prepared for a few days without internet is essential. Community culture in Laos is very strong. When entering the village, please ask for permission before taking photos and avoid giving money to children to show respect for local customs. Due to the terrain being full of rivers and streams, boats are a common means of transportation, but they are not always safe. Please check your life jackets and the condition of the boat before moving. In rural areas, healthcare facilities are limited, so getting medical checkups and treatment can take time. You need to bring your personal medication and note the address of the nearest hospital. Specifically in Vientiane and Luang Prabang, international hospitals can assist tourists in emergency situations. Finally, Laos has many major Buddhist festivals. During Pi Mai or That Luang, traffic and services may be temporarily suspended or overloaded. Please check the festival calendar in advance to plan your trip accordingly. And those are 15 incredible facts about Laos. I hope this video helps you understand more about this small but vibrant country. If you enjoy this kind of exploration content, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so we can continue our journey through new lands together. What truth are you most curious about? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below.